Mesquite Creek Outfitters is located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Texas. Come enjoy a refreshing drink, a light menu, chat with friends, and maybe even shop a little bit. Mesquite Creek Outfitters is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday. The show is live at 6 p.m. at MCO.
Why there's no sound online. I just fixed it because I told you I was going to mess something up with my wife not here tonight. So hopefully someone will let you know that the sound comes back in on this delay. But Georgetown advancing to 5-0 along with Hendrickson, and we're going to try to pull up the Texas High School baseball to go over the standings for 5A District 23. But we'll take a quick break. When we do, we'll get Coach Jordon Vierra up here. We've got a host of athletes tonight. We've got our – make sure I pronounce them correctly. Our freshman player of the week, Caleb McDougal. The JV player of the week, Cooper Thomas. And then we'll have varsity players David Fluitt and Andrew Nations join us live here tonight on the Eagle Nation Coaches Show. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Coach Jordon Vierra will join us live here at Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Stay with us. We're back here live at Mesquite Creek Outfitters, joined by we got our spotlight working tonight there on Coach Vierra, so he looks a little bright tonight. We tried to offer some shades. It was too good. He didn't want to be that cool on air. But, Coach, a 5-0 start in district for these Eagles. Last night we talked after the game there on the field. facing some adversity in this team not changing their approach and continuing to battle through that early mistakes. Some great defensive plays, one there in the first inning, but then multiple defensive plays made it to back up these pitchers, and then the bats came alive again and the Eagles came out with another win. The face of adversity, you love to see this team battle through that, not change the approach, and continue to do work. How does that work today? How is that, now the next day after that game and that win? What's the mindset of this team? The things continue to get that slowly improvement. That's what you want going through district.
Right. To go to your initial point with a slow start, we had a little self-induced adversity at the beginning with a couple of miscues defensively. But the best part about that was we didn't falter. We continued to stay the course. We made a couple big plays defensively, continued to throw strikes, worked ourselves out of a jam, maintained the 0 in the first. We continued to grind for the first 3 innings, finally scored there in the fourth. And the rest was history kind of after that. And then rolling into the clubhouse today, these guys do a great job of staying present moment focused, and continuing to stay in the day's work that needs to be done for that time. You saw in the game last night of not going away after the first inning and not going away after the second, but continuing that wave upon wave mentality. And so today was a quality practice. A lot of energy. We had adversity with the weather that came through and was changing our practice plan around. But the guys stayed focused. They got after it, and today was a quality day of work.
How big is a play that happened at the end of the top of the first inning? The ball hit deep shot there by Austin Miller. Jackson Rainey picks it up, throws it in. Leininger goes and gets it. A good throw to Chance Herrera to get the runner at home. How big does a play like that kind of erase those defensive mistakes, miscues there? No runs are given up on the inning. You guys get out of that inning without any trouble. How big is a play like that to keep the spirits up and to keep these guys motivated, knowing, hey, we escaped one there. Let's not do it to ourselves much more. Let's keep rolling, and they did last night. Was that a big play? Is that a catalyst that this team needs, or is it just one of those bonuses you'll take when it happens?
Yeah, so that's a massive play. Jackson Rainey tracks down a ball that was struck well. Was able to throw a good ball for the relay and allow Leininger to be able to relay it where it needed to go, and he made a quality throw, and then Reese Herrera ended up
Chance. Yeah. Sorry, Reese Herrera.
So and then Reese played prison guard there at the plate, and nobody in, nobody out. So it was that's a defining moment of the inning. It's a momentum killer. A guy smokes a ball to the wall. They're expecting to have a ton of offensive momentum going, and that was a moment where the game could have flipped quickly, and then all of a sudden after that play, you're trailing 2 or 3, and looking for some sort of spark from our offense. And we were able to shut that down, kill that momentum, and then collect the third out right after that to get off of the field and allow our hitters to get a chance to swing a little bit. So a play like that is a big momentum swinger, and the best part about it is just guys playing catch.
How do you work on, or what are you able to work on in a game like last night? The first 4 innings, the Wildcats get at least one base runner on in each of the 4 innings, and then it goes to 3 up, 3 down in the 5th and 6th innings with the last inning for Peterson, then the setup inning there for Cooper Ashby. How do you work through that, or how do you guys, and what do you work on that to prepare them that that's not the end of everything? It's okay to get a runner on. How we play now to not give up the mistake or any mistake to cause the run. What does that look like, especially in a game like that? Elgin swinging early at pitches, getting on that, jumping on fastballs, putting balls into play. How do you work on that, and what does this team – do they thrive off that? Is it something you can focus on?
Yeah, I mean, for us it's a mentality thing. As pitchers, the thing that we're constantly preaching to our pitching staff is attack the strike zone, attack the strike zone, attack the strike zone. We're okay with giving up hits. Hits aren't the issue, and the hits typically aren't what hurt you. Typically what hurts you are the walks in front of the hit or the error in front of the hit, and then you give up the hit, and that's what ultimately turns the things sideways and makes it not work. So the whole idea of giving up runners, good for them, right? Like, we executed a pitch, we threw a strike, and they were just a little bit better on that one. But ultimately, when you look at the odds of it, you got one guy on a mound with 6 guys behind him, and I like our odds with that.
The presence of Devin Peterson last night on the mound, it seemed like he settled in even with the mistakes behind him, continued to fill up the strike zone. 5 strikeouts on the night through 5 innings pitched. Did a good job on the mound. How big is that for a performance out of someone you don't expect to get that start, from unforeseen circumstances among the rotation that to set things back, and you get Devin up there on the mound, he performs. How big of a night was that for this team to be able to pick up and not have any kind of drop-off there with another arm coming out of the lineup?
Yeah, for us, I don't think it was something that was a surprise of what was going to happen. He'd had a couple of starts in tournaments, has shown that he can do that. We had him slotted to throw at a different time, and the way that it worked out with bullpens and everything was he was the next guy up. And, that's kind of been what we've been trying to facilitate as a part of our program, as a part of our team that we have this year. Is if one guy doesn't get it done, the next guy will. We ran into a situation with a freak injury kind of deal, and David got a little banged up, and so we ended up being able to give the ball to Devin, and he did a great job of throwing a ton of strikes. He's got good stuff. He's got a fastball that he can command. He's got a breaking ball that he can throw when he needs to, and occasionally has a change for a feel for the changeup. And he did a good job being in the middle strike zone and allowing the defense to continue to work.
What do we look for tomorrow night? We go on the road to Elgin. Hopefully the weather holds off. Another grass field with dirt infield. What do we look for tomorrow night? This Elgin team, athletic in nature.
Yeah.
You've got some good players. We saw Nate Lewis in his arm last night out in left field, a three-sport stud there at Elgin. You've got some arms in the bullpen. They've had some success. What do you look for as we go on the road tomorrow night at Elgin?
Well, it's going to be another battle. It's going to be another game where they're gonna show up and they're going to expect to have success. And we're going to have to fight for everything that we get. It's not going to be a game where we show up and the umpire says play ball and they quit. It's going to be another one where they're going to expect to win. They're going to give us hell for 7 innings and get after it. And it's going to come down to ultimately who can throw the most strikes and who can play the best defense behind it. And then lastly, who's going to be able to get the hit when it matters.
As we look at the district standings here on the screen, us and Pflugerville sitting at 5-0, Eastview, Elgin, both at 3-2, and then some 2-3s there with Cedar Creek and Bastrop. Any surprises this far into district through two and a half series of what we're seeing within the district? Hendrickson having a good run here in district as well. That matchup looks to be very interesting next week when the two teams, if they stay undefeated, go back head-to-head now with those two teams. But any surprises that you see as a coach within the district?
No, I mean, it's kind of shaking out the way that we thought it was going to. You got some guys that are contending for some spots that we anticipated that's what it was going to look like. But, this district could have a funny way of flipping itself and in 4 weeks looking completely different based off the way the schedules shake out and based off of who has who win. It's one of those things where we're going to continue to worry about what we can control. And right now we're in the driver's seat of being able to control our destiny and not needing to rely on anybody else's help at the moment. So we're going to continue to worry about the Georgetown Eagles and try to win one pitch at a time.
How do you keep these guys continue to be focused on this run, knowing they got 5 wins under the belt, and now the overall record for the season is back over 500, righting that ship there as you get back into the district run here? How do you keep these guys focused? Are they doing a good job of doing it themselves, or are you coaches having to stay on top of that?
So it's a mixture of both. I mean, all young guys are at some point going to need a little bit of nudge in the right direction, and I think that. The nudge that we were looking at going into yesterday was we got to play 7 quality innings. We've kind of over the past couple of weeks had this deal where we score early and then kind of get comfortable and sit back and just kind of cruise for a little bit. And the message yesterday was we need to go play 7 innings, compete for 7 innings, and regardless of what happens, make it the best 7 innings that you can. And so continuing to have that mindset of win it one pitch at a time for 7 innings as long as you can. And then keep the mindset of our goal isn't to win district, right? Our goal is to be ready to go by May, right? The ultimate goal is just, first of all, you've got to get in the playoffs, right? And to win playoffs, typically you got to win about 12 games. And then once you reach that checkpoint, then it's starting to shift to the next checkpoint, which is what's going to be round 1, what's going to be round 2, and then round 3. And then you're just in the process of where do we have to be today? And what do I have to do today to make today the best day that I can? And so we're trying to continue to keep that process mindset there of win it one day at a time, one pitch at a time, and continue to keep it moving in the correct direction and not allowing the cart to get in front of the horse.
Monday I came out, was watching some of the practice. You and I visited, and Coach Payne talking, and you guys work on some drills. How big is it for you coaches when something in the game is executed based on what you see in the drills that you do in practice? They obviously are pointed to be ready for game situations. Specifically last night, the bunt laid down by Luke Hawley.
Yep.
Laid down the third base line. That is a huge drill. It's fun to watch the intensity of the team to precisely put down bunts in a certain direction, a certain distance to make the plays and put the pressure on the defense. What does that do for you guys as a coaching staff to know, hey, if we continue to work, to see the execution of these kids as they go through the season?
Yeah, what's fun is, we get the opportunity to create competitive atmospheres where the desired outcome is the objective for the drill or the objective for the competition. Anytime from a coaching standpoint that we can take a clear objective that we want the team to be able to accomplish and create some sort of competitive nature to facilitate that, right? You'll typically get the desired outcome. And so that's what we're trying to foster in those atmospheres of, there needs to be some sort of element of pressure that's involved with it. And in the case of what you're talking about, it's a stopwatch. If it gets really sideways, it's BP. If they don't accomplish it in the correct amount of time, they don't get hit on the field that day. And so, we're able to create an element of pressure with a stopwatch, and then to be able to get the desired outcome of, hey, the ball's got to get past this point and inside of these two cones, and if that happens, then you get a point for that, and then we're trying to make sure that we get all 50 points inside of the specific amount of time.
Last night, what a job.
Yeah,
and you saw the frustration out of the Elgin dugout as quickly after there was a timeout, Coach Bourgeois came out.
He was not happy.
And yes, there was some frustration out of that side. But it's got to feel good that the things that worked on these players, to see them put them into action and to be successful on the field, to also encourage that, hey, the coaches are putting us in the right situations to be successful.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal, right, is you don't ever want to do something that's going to put the coaching staff in a position where it just looks like we're making this thing up as we go. Hey, like there's actual benefit to what we're doing during the practice that shows itself very readily in the games. We're reaching a point where some of those big pressure, quote-unquote, situations are starting to show themselves.
Georgetown victorious last night, 5-0. They improved to 5-0 in district. And tomorrow night they'll be on the road to take on the Elgin Wildcats. 7 p.m. first pitch there at Elgin High School. Come join us there at Elgin. They will have a crowd out there. They had a good crowd on the road, a very athletic team. That will throw the ball. They will throw their strikes. Watching and reading some of their stuff throughout the year. A couple of no-hitters out of them in their tournaments that they've played. And a team that's going to fight the entire time like they did last night. We'll have it live here on the SHN Sports Network. If you can't join us, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. Let's take a timeout. We'll kick Coach Vierra out of the seat, and we're going to bring up our freshman player of the week, Caleb McDougal, here in just a minute on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. We're back here live at Mesquite Creek Outfitters, 704 South Austin Avenue, host of your Eagle Baseball Coaches Show, live here on the SHN Sports Network. Caleb McDougal joins us now, the freshman player of the week. And I have to admit, I got the names and everything last minute, plus I was fighting with Lowe's all day on some appliance business today. And so I have nothing to talk about stats for you guys other than this freshman team is fun to watch. You guys seem to be enjoying yourself. The competition within yourselves is second to none. Last week we talked to A.J. Gonzalez, I believe it was. Andrew Gonzalez, I call him A.J. He's a big dude. I tell you what, see these freshmen walk up. You guys are so tall and big. It's fun to see the future of this program as you guys continue to grow. How much fun are you having in this season? You guys are competing away. I know you're having to play some JV teams, not a lot of multiple teams at some of these schools. How is it going for you this year?
It's going good. I mean, I think our team loves to get after it. I mean, we love play fast, play with a lot of effort, good attitude, and then we love being around each other. I mean, it's fun. We've all played together for a while, and we like each other.
That's also a key component because, I mean, I know a lot of the guys on the varsity team really don't like Andrew Nations. We'll talk to him about that. I'm just joking, Andrew. Andrew's sitting over there. The importance of the team bonding and the team getting along as you guys go. How long have a lot of you guys been playing baseball together?
I would say 2 or 3 years. A lot of us have been playing, like most of us have been playing together, and then we've known everybody for almost since middle school started, and it's been fun.
What's it like now to be at the high school level and the freshman? You're in the freshman team. The future is bright. There's 4 years. You guys come in as a very highly anticipated class that can make another run for this program and this Georgetown baseball program. What's it like putting on the Georgetown logo and wearing the uniform now and representing this high school in the rich history that Georgetown baseball has?
It's very unique. I mean, it's different than all other high schools around the area. I mean, we got a sense of pride that no one else has, and I think everybody follows that and they buy into it.
How do you guys push each other? Is it easy to do? Is it we're competing for our time on the field with each other, but a friendly competition, or is it, hey, my job is to be on that field and do what I can for this team? How does that work amongst you guys?
I think it's personal. Like, we're competing with each other. We're against each other, but we're also with each other. Like, we want to be friends, but want to be competitors at the same time.
Come game time, is it all now we're all one? We go for the win. We want to do our part and fill that role?
Yeah, we're all one. We all want to be together. We want to win together. And then whenever we need somebody to step in, we have people that can step in.
As a class, you guys hear this. You come in highly talked about it, an athletic class that has a lot of potential, a lot of talent in it. Does that put a pressure on you guys, or are you just having fun with it, playing ball, knowing, hey, we're going to continue to get better and to push ourselves to be the best we can?
I think it's in the back of our minds, but right now I think getting better is our main focus, and bonding and being the best we can together to reach that potential.
Outside of Georgetown, club ball you play, who do you play for?
I'm playing the GPS this summer.
GPS this summer. A lot of that, it's crazy having my youngest just graduated college at Texas State, but all the programs that are around and so many different eat-em-up cats. Everywhere I go, it's crazy, man. I'd never step foot on that campus except to pay bills. It's crazy to see how many programs are out there and how many teams are available. How do you lock into that and figure out what's best for you? Is it based on the coaches? How do you guys evaluate that and pick a team and which way to go in your off season?
I think it's also sticking with each other as players and the majority of that. So we still keep that bond even when we're not in season.
Baseball's over. Summertime is here. You get a week off. No travel ball. What do we find Caleb McDougall doing for fun?
Going to the beach.
Oh, there we go. Okay, it's a different answer. Last week, the majority of them were playing MLB The Show, hanging out with friends, staying inside, enjoying the AC. Want to go to the beach. And you must know my wife. That's all she wants to do, and we don't live anywhere near it, thank goodness. But what makes it – is that your relaxing place? Is that where you recharge, is to be out in the water?
I think being out in the sun and enjoying that, and then also even with friends on the beach – just anywhere.
What is the future for Caleb McDougall? If you had to look and what's your goals for yourself as you start here? You're in your freshman year. I say you start here. We're in the second semester of your freshman year. As you look towards sophomore, junior, senior year, what are your goals for yourself as you look forward for the next 4 years here at Georgetown?
Keep being the best I can be at all the sports, and then keep doing good in school mainly.
If you had to pick a favorite subject, last week we had some bad, questionable answers of reasonings behind. Outside of recess, nap time, and lunchtime, what is your favorite subject in school? What's your favorite class right now?
Say social studies because it's pretty easy.
Okay. At least I'm okay with you being honest about it. We won't name out teachers right now, but social studies, knowing that Coach Vierra teaches government is pretty funny, though. So as you look forward to the end of this year as you guys compete as freshmen, what is your drive? What drives you to work hard? What drives you to be the best, to know that you come back next year, the tryouts go, that you want to be back on that field, you want to be in that uniform and compete for the school? What drives Caleb McDougall? What's your driving force behind everything?
I think my driving force is my teammates around me. Like, I always wanted to be the best for them. And then I also want a state championship. I mean, that's also one.
I'm not going to lie. It is kind of cool having one of those gold medals that I got presented to me after calling that whole season. And it was so cool to watch the reaction of these kids that they got to partake in the ceremony. You earned that dog pile on the Round Rock Express field, the Dell Diamond, and it was such an opportunity. It's awesome that that's something you guys look for. And it's something that this program continues to build for, to make those runs in the playoffs and try to win those titles. Before I let you go, any shout-outs tonight?
Just my family.
Shout out to the family. Caleb McDougal, your freshman player of the week. We'll take a quick time out here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. We'll be back live. Cooper Thomas, the JV player of the week, will join us in just a moment. Stay with us. And we're back here live. I'll unmute it at one point or another. 704 South Austin Avenue, home of your Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. And joined now by the JV Player of the Week, Cooper Thomas. And he joins us here live at Mesquite Creek. And he's nervous because I told him I got some advanced scouting on Cooper because I had a chance to talk to his parents and have a little bit in common with his dad. We both happen to be in the same profession, working in the same county as a law enforcement officer. And so it was awesome to meet your dad and talk to him. As First Responder Broadcasting is owned and operated by 3 first responders, and we take pride in serving our communities, but we take pride in serving the Georgetown High School sports, and just it's a hobby that we enjoy and be a part of, and broadcast Georgetown sports, which is so funny because someone said, how do I get associated with Georgetown? I don't know. None of my kids went here. But I love Georgetown. I have more Georgetown gear than I have Gateway and Hutto put together. So my kids remind me daily about the fact I don't wear anything from their days in school. But I'll wear their college stuff. It's all right. It doesn't matter. Cooper, tell us about yourself. How's the season going? What kind of season are you having? How much fun are you having this year?
It's going pretty good. I'd say I've been pretty successful so far, hitting, pitching-wise, and just having fun right now.
This JV team on another good run, along with the freshman team, putting up a lot of wins. How much fun is this team? How competitive are you guys within each other and to push each other as you guys continue to do well?
We're really competitive. Like, it's nice about Georgetown. You get to, earn your spot in the lineup every time. It doesn't matter who you are. You just have to earn it each game.
How much more does that make it mean to you then to be able to put on the jersey when you each and every day, when you go to practice, when you go to the weight room and hit the weights, when you go to the field and do the workouts, and then all of a sudden it comes game time? How much more does that mean knowing you have to compete day in and day out for your spot, your opportunity in the lineup to be on that field? How much does it mean then to put on that uniform?
It feels really good. Every time I come to some kind of Georgetown practice, very fun. They always make it fun. And super competitive and in a fun way, and yeah.
How much do you guys get to interact with the varsity team in any kind of competitions? Y'all get to inter-squad with them at all, or any competitions against them to push them?
We don't inter-squad with them, but we'll run bases for them or play defense with them, and it's good to be out there with them too.
What's that camaraderie like between all levels, between the seniors, the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, as you guys interact in the practices and stuff like that? What's that like? Is it a we're the varsity, you're not, or is it we're the Georgetown Eagle baseball program and you guys work together?
No, they bring us in for sure. They're not mean to us or anything. I know plenty of varsity boys that are nice to me and stuff. It's
outside of baseball. Now we get to talk a little bit. You're getting nervous now. Outside of baseball, what does Cooper like to do? If we didn't find you on a baseball field, away from school, you get a week off in the summer with no baseball, nothing, no chores at home, nothing. What would Cooper Thomas want to do for fun?
I'm definitely going to be sleeping in for most of it and playing some kind of video games and going to the field.
What's your favorite game to play right now?
MLB The Show.
I was going to guess. That's pretty much everyone last week was MLB The Show. So another opportunity for you guys to compete against each other playing baseball and I get it. My 22-year-old that went to Texas State, it was baseball 24/7 the entire year. When we weren't playing baseball, we were playing baseball on the PlayStation, and I got wrapped into it because his older brother would get online and we would play from 3 different spots, and we're playing against each other. Oh, my goodness, it's nonstop. So what makes Cooper Thomas tick? What do you like to do outside of that? What interests you in life?
Really just sports. Like, I haven't really thought about, like, what job I want to do or anything like that. Just definitely want to go somewhere for college.
Be a firefighter. Everybody likes a firefighter. That's what I told my boys. And now what's funny is both of my sons are getting into law enforcement, so I didn't teach them well. So we'll see how that goes for both of them. As one of my sons actually works Travis County as well. And so what's your goals as you go through and you look here at your time at Georgetown before you get to your senior year? What's your goals? And what is your, what have you set for yourself to work towards or work for in baseball and in school?
Just try and be my best and eventually earn that spot onto the top team and keep my grades up. All A's, really, for me. That's my expectation.
Wow, that's impressive. I like that. That's good. So go to that. No recess, lunch, or nap time. What's the favorite class this year right now?
Probably geography, because it's my last class and my shortest class.
The best one to be done with and get over for the day. What comes after geography? Baseball?
Yes, sir.
Time to hit to the field and get ready to go. How much fun is this team compared to other teams you've played on? How much fun are you having on this team this year?
Compared to other teams, I'm having a lot of fun. Just all the guys are really supportive, and it's just fun being around them every day.
Let's see here. Got to remember a couple of things to ask you about. If you were able to pick up, do you have any pets at home?
Yes, sir.
What kind of pets do you have?
I have 2 Great Danes.
Okay, so 2 mini horses running around the house called dogs. If you had your pick of any kind of dog, what would it be?
A Corgi.
A Corgi. This is awesome. I heard this and I was like, this is hilarious to me. Why a Corgi? What is it about a Corgi?
I've seen videos of them and stuff. They seem like a really chill dog, and I'd like one. Be a different size too around the house.
It's something to try to tame the 2 mini horses that are called Great Danes. What kind of responsibilities does that make you have at home, knowing you have to worry about kenneling 2 big old Great Danes?
Well, my brother's usually the one that picks up the poop.
That's good.
But I'll usually feed them every morning, or try to when my mom reminds me.
That's good. At least helping around the house a little. He's honest. When my mom reminds me. So, any shout-outs before I let you go?
My mom, dad, my Uncle Zach watching, all my coaches, my JV team, and my freshman boys.
Caleb Thomas, your JV player of the week.
Cooper
Thomas. I mixed them both up as I looked down. Cooper Thomas, your JV player of the week. Caleb McDougall was your freshman player of the week. I read them right together, too, right on top. Caleb Thomas. Cooper Thomas joins us live here. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We'll drag Coach Vierra back up here and finish it up. The Eagle Baseball Coaches Show drives on. No, we won't. I forgot. David Fluitt's first. Now we're going to go with Fluitt first. Man, I'm just skipping past the varsity. I apologize. Good job. That's how good you and Caleb did that I just was going to skip over the varsity tonight. Quick timeout. We come back. David Fluitt, our varsity interview, will be next. We'll be right back. We're back quick because I can't believe I just forgot. But we're joined now. The junior, David Fluitt, joins us. He wears number 12 on the varsity and talks to us now. This is the one I've told the younger guys that are like, I want to get into hunting or fishing. I told them to reach out to you because last year, the first time we talked, you weren't at the baseball field. Where are you at? Hopefully at the ranch or at the lake, fishing or hunting. And so I assume that continues for you?
Yes, sir.
Coming into a second year on the varsity, we talked to Jack Kiki last week, the lone sophomore on the team, something you experienced last year as the lone sophomore on the varsity. How's the junior year going for you outside of this latest mishap, and we'll get you back healthy and back out there? How's this junior year going for you?
It's going really good so far. I'm a lot stronger than last year, which hopefully that'll help me out along the way this year. But just trying to do everything I can do.
You find out now how valuable this athletic training department is with Vanessa Rideau and Chad Hennessy now with the trying to get healthy back on the field. How is that going into progress without going into the in-depth of your injury? What are we looking at on a time-wise? Any timetable to get you back out on the field?
I think I should be back on the mound next week, and then out in the field we'll just play it by ear, see how it feels.
Compared to last year you kind of fell in that third slot as a starter. This year now into one of the two starting pitching rotation there with Riley Leininger. What's that like for you this year? Is it a different pressure, or is it something that you look forward to as a competitor to know you're one of those 1-2 punches that Georgetown's going to throw out there?
Yeah, I definitely look forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, that rotation this year.
This summer, watched a lot of Twitter videos popping up. It looked like you had a good summer, one swinging the stick, two on the mound as well. Coming into the preseason, we were watching out there. The first scrimmage of the season, ended up putting a triple there to one of the gaps. How much fun, you're out there at first base now, platooning quite a bit when you're not on the mound, getting a chance to swing the bat more this season in your junior year. How much you enjoying that one?
It's a lot of fun, finally be able to swing the stick a little more.
What kind of role does it put you into with a player like Jack Kiki, the sophomore, knowing that you were that player last year? How much of a role are you taking to kind of guide him as he fills that slot that you filled last year? Riley filled it the year before. How much is that pushing you to be a leader in your junior year? Knowing it comes the senior year, you're going to be one of the leaders on that team as well. But now as a second-year letterman for this team as just a junior, how much of a role are you taking in guiding Kiki and bringing him along and knowing he's having to learn the ropes as the only sophomore?
Yeah, it's definitely a big deal, being able to try to teach him, tell him everything that I learned last year, help him out the best I can.
As you're in your junior year, this team, this senior class that it is running the show. We say running the show, the leaders of this team. How much do you feel like you're able to interject? You juniors that have been, you now as a junior that was on this team last year, no other juniors can say that on this team this year. How much does that put you in a position to be a leader as well, having that experience on the team last year?
Yeah, being on the team last year definitely helped. Being a leader this year too. I know all the varsity guys I've have a really good connection with, so I can help lead with them as well.
How is that going to help you when you get on to the senior year next year to be one of those leaders on the team that's going to be looked up to and look to guide the younger guys?
Yeah, I think it'll help a lot having all that experience. I think I'll be a good leader next year.
Did you get any fishing or hunting in this last few months?
I kind of struggled with the hunting this past season, but I didn't get any bucks, but I got a few does.
All right.
It was a little slow for me.
Did Dad outdo you on the hunting?
Yes, he definitely did.
I knew I'd get a head shake from Dad back in the back. So in that, when you go out hunting, getting several does, how much fun is that? How much does that do for you mentally to break away from the sports, the grind of school, and to get away and to get in that blind and to get into those opportunities where it's you and nature? How much fun is that, and what does that do to refuel to you and to get you back into, I guess, that recharge to get back at it?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun being able to disconnect from baseball a little bit and do something else for a while.
So we're going to find you in the blind, not behind the remote control of a MLB The Show, or are we going to find you there as well?
No, I don't play video games or anything like that. But
which is a rare answer.
Yeah.
And so now I'm kind of curious. We're gonna ask Andrew about that as well. As you look to your junior year, you got your senior year coming up next year. What are the goals you've set for yourself now after that sophomore season and having a good year as a sophomore, and now being a junior that's in his second season on the varsity? What are the goals for David Fluid have they been tweaked, or what do you have in your mind as you set yourself goals over the next year in baseball and in school?
I think they've stayed pretty similar, just trying to do everything I can do, not trying to do too much, or just really relying on my teammates around me to help me out the best I can, not try to force anything.
Still taking some pride in wearing that G uniform? Is
yes,
it something
sir,
that you guys compete amongst each other, this varsity team? It's fun to be around and watch you guys practice and the camaraderie. How much does it mean now in year two to be able to put on that uniform, to be issued that hat, to earn that cap, and to wear it on each game night?
So it means a lot to all of us. It's a really big deal.
Shout-outs before I let you go.
AJ Nations, right there.
There he sits, waiting his turn. We'll take a quick timeout. Number 12, David Fluid joins us live here on the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. Quick timeout. We'll be right back. back here live, Mesquite Creek Outfitters, 704. Wow, we'll get it right. 704 South Austin Avenue, the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. And I have to make sure I get a text from my wife so I'm not messing something up since she's not here. We're joined now by number 10 in his jersey. It's the left fielder / center fielder / go where he needs, depending on who's on the mound. It's Andrew Nations joining us now, one of the seniors here on this team. Andrew, how's the senior year going?
Pretty good. I got short days at school, so can't complain.
I tell you what, that was the one thing about my senior year I loved the most. I didn't have a class till third period, and I only had it till fifth, and then it was sports time after that, and so I got to sleep in and enjoy that. As a senior now, this is your final year at Georgetown. How much fun are you having? How much is this season? Are you enjoying this season as one of the leaders? It's one of the guys looked up to be the leaders on this team. How is this season going for you? How much fun are you having?
I'm having a lot of fun seeing all the hard work we've put in kind of pay off. It's starting to feel like it's run out of time. So just kind of taking advantage of all the time we got left. So
last few games, starting to see the ball. That's what we were just chatting about before we got back on. Starting to see the ball well behind the plate, put some balls into play, creating some havoc, and then in left field last night, in center field when Devin was on the mound. Once he comes out, now we move back to where we're customary to seeing you out in left field. How much fun are you having when you're hitting the ball, when you see the ball well? How much more fun does that make the game, and how much more do you challenge yourself to continue that streak?
It's definitely a lot more fun to be on base and walk back to the dugout. So,
as you guys compete now, as you come out of the non-district, sitting at 5-0 in district, what's the attitude in the locker room? What's the mentality amongst this team? Things continuing to get better. You guys keep challenging yourselves to not let things get too out of hand, knowing you're 5-0 and competing here at the district level. How do you guys handling that as a team?
I mean, yeah, we kind of know in the back of our mind. I mean, our district's not the most competitive. I mean, we run into one of the hardest regions in Texas, and we got teams like Friendswood, Lake Creek. So, I mean, we got to enjoy the wins when they come, but quick flush, and I mean, we're not looking to just win district this year. So
every night you guys go out in district, you're going to get everyone's best. They come for that target that you guys put on each and every night. How much of a challenge is that to make sure you guys don't let someone sneak up on that you put your best out there, that you stay focused on that each and every game? Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of just like Coach V was saying. I mean, making sure we don't go away early when we get up because, I mean, some of those teams, I mean, they fight. I mean, they play Georgetown. They want to win. I mean, they brag about that all year. So just keeping foot on the gas all 7 innings.
Last night, getting the first inning, a couple of errors now, but runners on first and second, the double off to right field from Austin Miller. How big was that for you guys confidence-wise that a play's made, that relay from Jackson to Riley to Reese behind the plate to cut that run down? How big is that for you guys then to be able to compound on that and not worry about what the errors were and to continue to move forward? How big was that last night?
Man, plays like that are huge. I mean, it's a big momentum killer. I mean, the crowd gets into it, the dugout's into it. I mean, we get back in the dugout, we're ready to hit. So, I mean, those are the kind of plays you got to have when you want to make a long run.
The future for Andrew Nations, as you look here in your senior year, and you said, the time is how fast it's gone for you as you look towards May and June at the end of when you get ready to graduate. What's the future look like for Andrew Nations?
I'm probably going to be attending A&M next year, so pretty excited about that.
What is with this A&M crowd around here? No, it's good. My daughter-in-law graduated from A&M back in August, and so I have to be a supporter of A&M and the hard work she put in there. It's a great school over there in College Station. What is the thought? What is the future for Andrew Nations? Have you thought about where you want to go into? What kind of job? What kind of future you want to have?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to major in construction science next year and then try to get into something like that.
Very cool. Very cool. Outside of baseball, where do we find Andrew Nations? Is he behind a controller playing MLB The Show?
Man, usually I don't make it out of the bed to get to my desk. So, I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of downtime, so I try to sleep when I do.
When the summer comes, what's Andrew going to do for fun before college hits and the next cycle of life begins?
Probably find me out on the lake, sitting in the water.
There you go. Any shout-outs before I let you go?
Shout out Brady Peters. I know he's watching. And shout out David Fluke.
Brady Peters. Wow. A big third baseman from last year. One of the seniors that graduated. Big David Fluke. Andrew Nations. Enjoyed talking to you, buddy. Good to see you, man. Number 10, Andrew Nations. On your varsity baseball team. And now, because I got ahead of myself. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, Coach Vierra comes back and joins us. Take a quick timeout here from Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Stay with us here on the SHN Sports Network. Here live, Mesquite Creek Outfitters. We'll switch it back. Too much to do. Man, no more nights off for my wife. She makes it look seamless. But we're live here at Mesquite Creek Outfitters.
It's way better when she's here.
It is. I will be the first to admit that. 16mileangels.org Casino Night. The 4th annual charity casino night is at Berry Creek Country Club, April the 6th, Saturday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come out and support. It talks about here, casual to fancy. We encourage your best Vegas casino attire. Bring on the sparkles. The only question I have in that I would love to ask is, every time I go to Vegas, there is not much attire in Vegas. When I go to it's like you wake up and stumble to the tables and then stumble back.
You have a strict dress code.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Follow
that. If you show up wearing stickers, you're fired.
Early bird price, $80 until the 31st. On the 1st of April, the price goes up to $100 a ticket. But come join in, 6 p.m., Berry Creek Country Club, and it will be a fun one. We were there last year at the Reunion Ranch, and it was a fun night. And so a lot of dinner there and some big casino night. It's fun to be a part of. There's auction items there, some great auction items that you can find online. So go to 16mileangels.org that you pulled off the top of your head. So congrats to that. Staying relevant. That's good in your older age.
Steel trap.
Great to see your wife and kids back around as Macy's feeling better. We gave her a shout out last week. She was sick, and so it's good to see her back and around.
It's just good to finally get to see my kids. I haven't seen them all week.
That is good. So this Georgetown Eagle baseball team, we talking to these kids, it's so fun to see from the freshmen to the JV team to the varsity players talk about the tradition and the honor to earn that G, and that the hard work is put in to be able to put that G on and to have pride in that every game night. Does it make it that much easier on your job knowing that the players sense that pride and sense that tradition, or is it something that you guys continue to preach and work on?
It's something that we're constantly trying to foster is that idea of the G's bigger than the individual, right? We constantly we spend a lot of time talking about these boys turning into men, and once you realize what it means to actually be a man, you realize that very little of it is actually being about you. As a young guy with younger kids, that transition of being a young man to being a husband, and realizing that being a husband has nothing to do with you by yourself, but it's all about taking care of your wife and making sure that she's taken care of, and that perspective shift. And then you throw kids into the equation, all of a sudden you realize that now it's not more about 3 people or 4 or 5 or however many you end up having, and it's not about you at all. With our main objective of turning these boys into men, giving them an opportunity to see that the G is about more than just them. It's about the players on the team. It's about the school. It's about the community. It's about so much more. It's about the alumni that came before them and the guys that will be coming after them. And so, I think it's a couple of things. I think, the success that we've been able to have for the past, 15 years or something, and the guys that have come before, and then obviously the guys that we have coming up, they want to continue to maintain that legacy of what it's been like. And, we want these guys to be able to leave their own legacy behind once they leave. We're just really fortunate to be able to have the kind of baseball players that we have, and then more importantly, the great families and kids we got.
Talking about the kids and these multi-sport athletes, we talk about Nate Lewis. I mentioned him last night in the pregame. A kid that plays 3 sports over at Elgin. He played great in left field last night, threw out 1 runner at third. Another time, I loved Corden, tagged up and went about 10 feet like, I'm not going anywhere because Nate Lewis threw it on the line. But to see multi-sport athletes like that at Elgin, Georgetown has many of them, is an opportunity. I want to make sure we sing the praises of one of our baseball own is Talon Ball. I tell you what, for the second year in a row, Talon Ball has been named to the Super Elite Wrestling team at the state level. And what an honor for Talon, and what a talent he is, but what a young man to immediately come in, put the uniform on, and start to battle to try to earn his spot back. But this year, to see Georgetown recognizing 2 students, Isaac Zapata, another boy wrestling super elite member, and then the Georgetown girls wrestling team. I'm going to mess her first name up, Anise Ramirez. She was named to the girls super elite wrestling team. And so it's just fun to watch these athletes as they grow, but yet to see that across the board, each sport instills in them the qualities of being a good person, but wearing the G with pride, and that it means much more than just them. And so congrats to Talon Ball. He's one of our baseball players that we get to talk about, the Mighty Mouse, as I call him each and every night, introducing him. But to earn that honor 2 years in a row, a super elite wrestler, it speaks volumes about the character of these student athletes here at Georgetown. And so this baseball team on the rise, the tough non-district like you like to schedule each and every year, and now to be back over 500, 10-9-1, and knowing that record truly means nothing. It's what happens in district to get you to the playoffs.
Right.
What's the future looks bright for these kids. Andrew talked about it. We know it's not a tough district from top to bottom, and we go into a tough district into the playoffs right out of the Houston area. How do you get these guys, and how do you keep that momentum going for them now? They know that. They see that. They know these teams. They know they're going to get the best effort, but they have a confidence about themselves. How do you keep that focus as we head towards the middle now of district and towards the end as we look forward to the playoffs in May?
Right. It goes back to the conversation that we had Friday night. And Friday night, the conversation that we had after the game that we won 9-2 against Pflugerville was not a pleasant conversation. And the conversation was simply this: is we got to fall back in love with the process. We've gotten to a point where we're very results oriented. We're winning, so why does it matter? Well, it matters because our goal is not just to get out of district. Our goal is to get deep into the playoffs and hopefully get back to Del Diamond. Dogpile is 16 miles away from here. And so in order to be able to maintain the process where we need to be, we got to be able to control what we control, and then everything that we're trying to control, we have to control. Whether that be our approach at the plate, whether that be base running or defense or throwing strikes or fill in the blank, everything that we can possibly control, we have to do well. And when you break it down to that I have to be able to manage the controllables. When you manage the controllables well, you typically get the result that you want. And so just taking it back a step, instead of talking about result, congrats you won, it's congrats you won. Here are the areas that we've got to continue to develop and continue to go. We don't ever want to suck the winning out of them, right? We don't want to suck the joy out of the winning, because ultimately, that's why you play, right? You don't play to lose, you play to win. But we always are trying to keep that piece of perspective in the back of the mind too, of just winning a Tuesday night game at home against a district rival isn't the goal, right? The goal is to stay invested in the process, so that way by the time the process nulls itself out, you have a gold medal around your neck and you're 60 miles away at Del Diamond.
You talk about that, and that was where I was going to ask you, is how do you balance that to not take the fun out of the win, but yet to trust that process and to keep that process going for those kids, but you did win, but how do we get better in that
Right.
win to the next game? And so it's funny that you went right into that, and it's awesome to see these kids, the work they put in Monday when we went out. I was sitting there watching practice and just see the effort, and you watch as you go down the batting cages and the effort being put in and the pressure on themselves to put the ball at the right spot off the tee, and then the push-ups being done and the work and the buy-in in the process. And it's fun to watch these kids invest those times, knowing you have so many options in life anymore. These kids could go out and be hanging out with their friends and playing the show and doing everything else, but they buy in and they go in and day out. And in pride to walk into that locker room, and pride to see those jerseys that have been hung that are players that have been into the major leagues, several kids that are still in the college ranks playing that represent the G at the next level. Georgetown plays tomorrow night, Thursday night at Elgin. I'll tweet out that link when I get out of here tonight. But we'll be live here on the SHN Sports Network at 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. But come and join us. It'll be a beautiful night for baseball over in Elgin, not too far away. Just make sure you pay attention to the traffic over by the school is horrid in all the construction they're redoing. So make sure you give yourself some time to get back to the back part of the property there where the baseball field's located. But come support this team. They sit at 5-0 at the top of the district with the Hendrickson Hawks. And they bring it each and every night. It's fun to watch this team. Last night, I think that was the epitome of watching did not get down on themselves in inning number one and then fight through and then put up those runs in the 4th and 5th inning and then close it out. Cooper Ashby, what a job there, 3 up, 3 down in the 6th inning before the sophomore Kiki comes in and closes it out. Coach, the future looks good. This team continuing to do good things. What kind of pressure does that put on you? This coaching staff, you're dealt a hand of good athletes.
Yeah.
What kind of pressure do you guys put on yourself, or do you just challenge yourself daily to push these kids to be better?
We're constantly challenging ourselves daily. The challenging part is managing my personal expectations. That was in all reality, that was the come to Jesus meeting that I'd have with myself on the bus ride home on Friday because I was not in a really good place. I was very frustrated. The fact of the situation dawned on me of, we won the game, right? Ultimately, that's the objective, and I understand that my personal standard of perfection on a regular basis, in every facet is where I think it should be, but to recognize that we have a bunch of young men that are competing and playing hard, and just to recognize that there are times where as a coach, I find myself being results oriented. And I've caught myself being in that same position of, it's we have to win, and gotten away from the process of, these are the 6 areas that we got to be really good at in order to be able to win. And so, from a pressure standpoint, pressure is perception. It's a matter of managing expectations on my side, and I know our coaching staff has high expectations, and that's a really good thing. But at the same time, balancing that out with the understanding of growth and where we're trying to be, and understanding that nobody's winning a state title tomorrow. That doesn't happen for another couple of months. And so, just trying to make sure that we're making the most growth that we can on a daily basis to ultimately be in a position to make that run.
Your Georgetown Eagles 5-0 in district. They're atop the district standing with the Hendrickson Hawks, and they play tomorrow night. Come join us over at Elgin. I tell you what, so many sports going on right now at Georgetown and so many success stories to be talked about. Congrats to the Lady Eagle softball team, as they are the only undefeated team in district. They continue their winning ways. The soccer team's battling into the playoffs, and great things going there. This track team, and I tell you what, some of these multi-sport athletes, Jaheim Dowd from the football team, and then the Xavier Warren, the speedy receiver, running unreal times in the track meets. So many opportunities to get out and support these kids. But our favorite right now, I'm going to say it every day, is baseball. And we'll be live tomorrow night from Elgin High School. Come join us.
Yep.
Thanks to Jeff Rogers and the Georgetown Eagle Baseball Booster Club for all they do for this program, for putting this together and moving it around this week. We'll be back to our normal time next Thursday, 7 p.m., because the schedule goes back to our Tuesday, Friday night action after the holidays. So come enjoy it tomorrow night, and then we get a break till Tuesday when we take the Hendrickson Hawks on to go for the battle of the unbeatens in district to see who can take that top spot in the breakaway.
We got to win tomorrow before we can have that.
True. I'm just forecasting, so that's my job. I don't have to coach these kids. I just have to talk about them. Thanks for joining us tonight here at Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Thanks to Mesquite Creek Outfitters for hosting the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. And we will sign off for tonight. We'll be live 6:45 p.m. from Elgin High School tomorrow night. Join us online if you can't be in person. Thanks for joining us for the Eagle Baseball Coaches Show. For Coach Vierra, I'm Wally Harmon. Have a good night, everybody.
Mesquite Creek Outfitters is located at 704 South Austin Avenue in Georgetown, Texas. Come enjoy a refreshing drink, a light menu, chat with friends, and maybe even shop a little bit. Mesquite Creek Outfitters is the host of the Eagle Nation Coaches Show every Wednesday. The show is live at 6 p.m. at MCO.